Hi, friends. I want to spend a few minutes with you today asking you how you're doing in your leadership and suggesting several keys for shaping your distinct identity as a Christian leader. All leadership begins with self leadership. And as we continue to see, the stakes are sky high for authentically Christian leadership that has a profound witness to a world that's always watching, both non Christian and Christian. So, what are the keys that we need to think about to shape our identity as Christian leaders? Most of us, we usually think about starting with our intention or our purpose or our mission. What's the mission? What's the purpose? What has God called you to do in your life? Where has God called you to serve for this season of ministry? And so we want to think about our intention. But I want to suggest to you that sometimes if we overemphasize the actual calling, if we overemphasize what it is that we think we're supposed to be doing, we're going to miss two key features that, if left or neglected, will impact our ability to actually even get close to achieving the things that God's called us to. Now, obviously, as Christian leaders, we need to focus on a constant supply of inspiration. So I want to ask you right now, what inspires you? What is fueling your soul? What is it that you do daily, weekly? What rhythms do you have in place that allow you to be at your best and fuel you in your working and pressing on and living in to the mission that God's called you to be? Inspiration is critical. And we talk about this as a rule of life or rhythms of life, but it's your spiritual practices. And I want to suggest that even when we think about intention and inspiration, we need to think beyond just, say, a role as a pastor, as a spiritual leader. What fuels you so that you can be a fantastic parent if you have children, or a spouse? What fuels you to make ethical, good decisions about finances, about recreation and fun in your life, about family, not just about ministry? We're looking for inspiration that moves beyond just saying I need to read the Bible more or I need to pray more. And by the way, those are two critical pieces that are always going to be part of the inspiration. But we need to ask ourselves, does the way we set up our rule of life, does it actually fuel us individually as distinct persons? Have we found the rituals, the rhythms, the liturgies that work with our personality types, our temperaments, and actually inspire us, again, propel us to live with intention in our ministries, in our lives? Have you found that? Is it just about shoulds, or have you made this inspiration a must? Now, there's another critical piece too, and it's the word integrity, right? And sometimes it seems like it goes without saying, but we've seen enough pastors struggling with issues of integrity. It's not just pastors, it's really our whole world. But this is the critical question. When we talk about integrity, that means my front stage matches my backstage. I'm the same person that you meet if you would meet me face to face that I appear to be in this video. It's the way that I say treat members of my congregation, or how I act when I'm leading my church, is the same way that if you'd come back home with me, I'm going to treat my spouse, I'm going to treat my children, I'm going to treat my closest friends. Front stage, backstage. It's the values that I say, that I espouse, and that I live by. If you would see me 24/7, when I think no one's looking, do I live out those same values? So when we talk about integrity, we're talking about a life where there aren't really secrets, right? And so how do you get that? That's the inspiration's got to fuel that. And so these things work together. But the critical piece is, have you set yourself up so that you have a methodical system, a rhythm that fuels both your purpose? Because we've seen plenty of pastors that seem like they gain the whole world, but then it falls apart. Our inspiration also has got to affect the person that we're becoming, and that's integrity. Again, we can live out a mission maybe for a season without integrity. We can achieve things for God without integrity, but we can't live out a whole life without integrity. Without integrity, things are just going to be ephemeral without a season, and perhaps by living out the mission, we actually accidentally live out the wrong mission, because without integrity, we actually proclaim the wrong gospel to the world. And I know this is a little heavy, but I want us to really think carefully about what is shaping who we are as Christian leaders. I have a great program. I lead it's called Deep Dive Spirituality. I work with pastors as a coach, as a spiritual guide, to try to lead us into deeper levels of spirituality as that fuel to allow us to be all in for God's mission, which I'm guessing is exactly what we all signed up for if we could back up to when we first began to explore that call. Again, I'm Brian Russell. Thanks for listening all the way to the end, and it would be a privilege to be of any service to you that I might be able to. Email me today, deepdivespirituality@gmail.com.